Hello, I'm Alessandro, and this is the new Sony 24-70mm f2.8 Master, and this is my latest lens. It's my honest and personal opinion about this lens. It's not a sponsored video, and these are the reasons why I got this lens. So first, I was looking for a lens to kind of replace all my prime lenses, since I'm gonna be in a trip for around 3 months in South America, and I won't be able to carry all my lenses. I will be normally walking around, so I want to be as low profile as possible and as lightweight as possible. So I was using before the Tamron 28-75. I was happy with that lens. It's a really capable and really good quality lens, but unfortunately 28mm, it wasn't wide enough for what I needed. I'm a huge fan of 24mm for street photography and also for landscape, so I was looking for the 24-70, and once they announced the 24-70 G Master Generation 2, I really wanted to go for this lens. So I sold my Tamron 28-75 and I went for this one, and these are the 5 things I like the most about this lens. The first thing is definitely the build quality. It's so well balanced and well built, and I love how small and compact it is. It actually feels a lot like the Tamron. It's a bit heavier at 690 grams, but this weight is perfect for the Sony a7 IV. Also, I love that they include the aperture ring, and they include a lot of flexibility with the customizable buttons, and you also have the option to go from smooth to tight in the zoom ring. So that's very enjoyable, especially when you're using only one focal length, like maybe 50 and 35, you want to keep it there, make sure you don't move it. When you're using it tight, you just keep it like a prime. The second thing I really like about this lens is of course the optical quality. This lens performs like a prime lens in my opinion. Especially it's really sharp, from 24 at f2.8 all the way to 70 at f2.8, and there is where I really can see a difference from this lens to the competition, at least to the Tamron, because at 70 is super sharp for portrait. I really love taking photos and videos of cats, and I really could see a massive difference. I got results that I could only get with my macro 2.8 or the 51.2. The next thing is of course the bokeh quality, and it's that the bokeh is really smooth and really creamy, just as the 51.2 G Master and the 24. The bokeh is really rounded and beautiful, and it makes a really big difference compared to the Tamron lens. And this will really show when you're doing some close-up photography, and even when you're doing some portrait, you will see that the background is really smooth, it's really not very distracting to the eye, and that's something I really enjoy about this lens. And the next thing I think is the biggest advantage and the main difference from this lens to any other lens I have, and that's the autofocus speed. This lens is extremely fast and accurate in any kind of situations. I was taking some portrait of some kids, and he was running around like crazy, moving all around, and when I was using this lens, it didn't miss even a single shot. It was always on focus, and that for me was completely insane. Also happens in street photography. When you want to focus on a specific subject or a specific person, it will focus on that person and it will track it perfectly. And that's, I think, the biggest difference from this lens to any other lens from the competition. This lens could replace the 24-1.4 or the 51.2. Definitely not. You don't have the advantage of having that low light performance, but if you are a landscape photography, or like me, in the next 3 months I will be shooting normally during the day, so I think this lens will be perfect for daylight photography. This lens will cover all those kind of focal length that you want to be using. And of course it gives you the flexibility at this weight, which is 690 grams, of only taking one lens. So if you're only planning to buy a single lens, I think this will be the way to go. It's expensive for sure, and I think that's the only downside of this lens, that it is expensive at $2,300 US. But if it's the only lens you will have, I think it's totally worth it, and you can do a lot of stuff with this lens, even when doing professional work like at weddings, portraits, any kind of proposal shooting, anything. This lens will be perfect for that. So this is my opinion, this is what I think about this lens. So far I have it for around 2 to 3 weeks. I have been using it a lot, basically every day, and I'm really happy with the results. And well, the only downside is that I will be selling my 24G Master, which is a lens I really love. It's the lens I'm using for this video, but I can't justify having both lenses because I normally will carry, if I want, maybe the 50-1.2 or the 14, which is one of my favorite lenses, but I really have to sell this lens and keep this one with the 24 will be maybe enough for me. So that's all for today. I hope you like this video. I hope it's useful to you, and well, I hope to see you in the next one.